There is a reason. This person keeps coming back into your mind. Not once, not occasionally, but repeatedly, almost without control. You try to distract yourself. You focus on other things. You tell yourself it doesn't matter anymore. And yet, they return. In quiet moments, before sleep, in the middle of something completely unrelated. And after a while, you start asking yourself something deeper. Why can't I stop thinking about them? If this has been happening to you, don't ignore it, because what you're experiencing is not random, and by the end of this, you'll understand why this kind of thinking is rarely a coincidence, and what it's actually trying to show you. But here's the part most people miss. The person you keep thinking about may not be the real reason you're thinking this way. At first, it feels simple. You assume it's about them. Something they said. Something they did. Something that didn't fully resolve. Maybe there was no closure. Maybe things ended suddenly. Maybe the connection felt deeper than expected. So your mind keeps returning, trying to make sense of it. This is how most people explain it. But there is something deeper happening beneath the surface. Because your mind doesn't hold on to people randomly. It holds on to what they represent. Carl Jung believed that the mind is not just reacting to the outside world. It is constantly interacting with the unconscious. And the unconscious does not think in direct explanations. It thinks in symbols, in emotions, in patterns, in unfinished experiences. So, when someone keeps appearing in your thoughts, it is not always about the person themselves. It is about something within you that they activated, and that changes everything. Because now, the question is no longer, why do I keep thinking about them? The deeper question becomes, what did this person awaken in me that is still unresolved? This is where things become clearer and more uncomfortable, because sometimes it's not about love, it's about longing. Sometimes it's not about connection, it's about what you felt when you were with them, the way they made you feel seen, understood, valued, alive. And when that feeling disappears, your mind keeps going back, trying to find it again. Not the person, the feeling. This is one of the most important psychological truths. We don't just attach to people. We attach to how we feel around them. And when that feeling is powerful, the mind holds on to it, even when the person is no longer present. This is why the thoughts don't stop easily, because the mind is not trying to revisit the past. It is trying to complete something, an emotion, a question, a version of yourself that felt different in their presence. And until that is understood, the loop continues. Now here's where it gets deeper. Sometimes the person you can't stop thinking about reflects a part of yourself that you haven't fully accepted. This is what Jung called projection. You see something in them that actually exists within you, a quality, a confidence, a depth, a freedom. And because you are not fully connected to that part of yourself, your mind attaches it to them. So you think about them again and again. But what you're really drawn to is not them. It's what they mirror inside you. See, this is why some people stay in your mind long after they've left your life. Because they touched something deeper than the surface. Something you didn't fully understand at the time. Now, here's the part most people get wrong. They believe that constant thinking means they should go back, reach out, reconnect, fix what was left unfinished. But that's not always the answer, because sometimes the lesson is not about the relationship. It's about the awareness it created. And going back without understanding that, only repeats the same pattern. This is why it's important to pause, not react immediately, not follow every thought, but observe. When you think about them, ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Not about them, about you. Is it loneliness? Is it regret? Is it longing? Is it confusion? Is it something that feels unfinished? Because that feeling is the key. That's what your mind is trying to process. That's what needs attention. Now here's a simple practice you can try. The next time they come to your mind, don't push the thought away. Sit with it and ask yourself, if this person wasn't the focus, what would I actually be feeling? Let the answer come honestly, because often behind the thought, there is something deeper, a need that wasn't met, a part of you that felt alive, a version of yourself you haven't fully returned to. And once you see that, something shifts. You stop chasing the person, and you start understanding the experience. Now here comes the deeper truth, the one that changes everything. The reason you keep thinking about them is not because they are meant to stay in your life. It's because something inside you is asking to be understood. That's the real reason. Not coincidence, not fate in the way most people think, but awareness trying to surface. And once you understand what that awareness is showing you, the attachment begins to loosen. Not instantly, but gradually, because now you're no longer stuck in the loop. You're learning from it. And this is where most people never reach. They stay attached to the person instead of understanding the pattern. They keep replaying memories instead of asking deeper questions. They chase the feeling externally instead of reconnecting internally. And that's why the thoughts don't stop. But once you shift your focus, everything changes. You begin to see clearly. You realize that what you were holding on to was not just a person. It was a part of your own emotional experience, and that part is still within you. It didn't disappear. It just needs your attention, your awareness, your understanding. And once you give it that, the intensity begins to fade, not because the connection didn't matter, but because you've taken back what was always yours. So if you keep thinking about someone, don't rush to interpret it as a sign to go back. Don't rush to act. Pause, reflect, look deeper, because this may not be about them. It may be about you, finally seeing something you've been missing. And if this truth feels like something you needed to hear, stay with it, because not every thought is a message to act. Some are messages to understand. And sometimes, the reason someone stays in your mind is because they were never just a person in your life. They were a mirror, showing you something you're now ready to see.